Today on Dirt Road Cred, we're going to be installing some game-changing exterior mods to our 2026 Jeep Gladiator to throw this thing back to the 90s. We've got some really special decals from our friend Brendan over at L&B Design Works to really throw this thing back into Miami Vice, right into the 90s. Not only that, we're going to be sprinkling in and deleting a lot of the orange that's been all over this Jeep. You guys weren't the biggest fan of some of the orange that we put on, but our friends at Distinction Applied also sent us up some really cool paint match products that you guys are going to want to stay to the end and not miss what we do to this Jeep. If you don't know Brendan, he is the owner of L&B Design Works, and he does absolutely fantastic work. We actually, like we said, we met a few times, like through handshakes and through mutual folks, but then at Jeep Beach, you came in clutch, and we're doing some work behind the scenes after hours. He was like, as soon as we got this, he actually reached out and was like, can we do something for this? I got some ideas for this. What were, like, I know we gave you some inspiration on what you wanted to do with the Jeep, but what were your thoughts? I know it was a little bit bright, but
this rain color, we really wanted to get some pop, keep it tasteful, and have some retro flair to it in the shape, as well as some of the other graphic features and colors.
Well guys, this is gonna be what's going on the tailgate. These are actually gonna go on the intersection here and accentuate both sides. And then Brendan actually created the Jeep letters there that go over the factory badge. So I think, you know what? I think that's gonna look okay with the orange border. I know we're deleting a lot of orange, but on this it might look, I might just give it, yeah, but that like accentuates the factory badge. I think that's gonna look sick. And while you're working on this, I'm gonna go out and grab some tools and we're gonna start putting some more purple on this thing. I think we need to add some more purple on the other side while you're working, and we'll kind of meet in the middle and it'll look good. All right guys, so while he's working on the back there, throwing on some decals, we are gonna be adding some color match mods. Now this one here is a set of paint matched proximity entry door handles from Distinction Applied. These I think might still be on their website, but I know the majority of the rest of what we're gonna be installed is available on dirtroadcred.com, where you can go check it out on there. But this just gives it that much more. Ryan, look at the flake there. Like just seeing that, and what's kind of neat is I like to see these on the vehicles because the different angles of the body lines like this, you get to see the purple rain a little bit more. So we're gonna rip this one out. It's so easy to do this. All you have to do is pull the little sticker off. There's a little sticker right here. See that? There's a T20 inside there. You just loosen that up. This piece pops out, and I'll probably have to set some stuff down because I don't want to drop it and break it. And then we just have one plug right there. And that's it. But Ryan, there's still something on that door that I think we need to put something on that door, because it's still looking a little bit like too OEM. What do you think? And these are available on our website, covered up by Distinction Applied, the keyhole covers. So this is a really easy solution to just kind of something you wouldn't even notice, but you do once you see these products. So we did them in Mojave Orange first. It gave it an accent, but it was the only Mojave Orange on the entire side. Watch this. You don't even notice this until you do that. It just, I mean, going from that to then back, cleans up the whole door. No tools necessary. Magnets on there. We've been running these on our Jeeps for years now. Well, a year or so that we've had them out. All the Jeeps. I think this is for the price point. I know the price point, some people are like, it's just a little piece. Yeah, but it's custom painted for your Jeep. It matches, it looks, look at the difference in look there. That kind of doesn't look bad with the orange. I don't mind it. Maybe we leave the orange on the rest of the Jeep. It looks cool. The gradient looks so cool. This is pretty crazy, the back section, just seeing this done. I didn't see the gradients and how much the color shifted even in these little lines. Like you see the lines and then they have the borders. There's a gradient built in here, gradient here, more heart like lines on there. I think it looks fantastic. We were going for this kind of style with the Jeep, and I think when we get everything else done to this, the lights are going, you got this retro package on the outside. This is like, you know, obviously we took some inspiration from the Jeep Rewind concept, but then like just 10x'd it. Like I think this is what should have come on the Rewind. We took a little bit of inspiration, but you took it like 20 steps further to make it.
Between the Gladiator, there's so many different panels on
sure.
the back half. We're even trying to copy that directly.
It's like, you know, we don't need to copy it. Use it as inspiration, and this is now the DRC edition, you know, so it looks, I can't wait to see the side ones done. All right, guys, so here it is, the new one in the proper color match paint color. What's cool too is, like we said in that original video, is Brian's actually making these himself now and painting them. Ready? That looks a little bit better. What do you think? Little distinction applied logo right there. Yeah, that makes it just a little bit better. All right, guys. Well, Brendan is getting this side kind of mocked up here, and you actually did a dry fit on the other side, and it went really well on the dry fit. This is where you're going to start to see the real estate of the Gladiator really take hold. We've incorporated, or should I say, Brendan has the Mojave text in that like 90s kind of style on here, and I absolutely love it. I think we were just talking in the 90s, the Igloo, the Playmates, everything was like bright colors, pinks, yellows, teals. Like that's what you saw in the 90s, and that's what we were going for. I already saw the other side, but this is where the Gladiator comes into play with real estate.
Yep.
On a Wrangler 2-door and even a 4-door, there's not much back here. You basically have a rear door, and then this body is like, that's it. It's just a fender, and the bed is where we had to utilize our real estate in this. But I think you did it in such a way that you can still see the purple through it, but it gives that gradient. I didn't know was, I couldn't see this gradient like in the renders. So just seeing the lines in there gives it the depth that we were going for. So yeah, I don't know, I'm not gonna hold you up. Let's see this thing, because I think everybody wants to see it. All right, guys, here it is. He ripped off all of that extra coating on the outside that protects it, but check out the M on the Mojave, even the entire text there. It's got the pink, white, and a black border. Like if you guys think, remember like the clothing brand like No Fear and like the 90s motocross, everything was like that font, the pinks, the whites, the super bright colors. But I love, because we did rip off the Mojave decals on the front, we needed to somehow incorporate Mojave back into this, so you know that it's still a Mojave trim underneath. I think that was just the way to do it. And I didn't know how much of the purple was going to shine through, but it's just, this also goes into a wrap that goes along the door, which he's working on right now, and that's going to be, I think that's just going to set it off. The covered up windshield bumpers, look at these in that purple, dude. This one is such an easy install too, no tools once again. So the covered up keyhole covers, the hood bumper covers, no tools for either of them. You can literally change the overall appearance and aesthetic of your Jeep in a couple minutes on both of them. Both of these are available on the website, as well as the cowl panel too. So we've got the whole setup, and then we've got these too, Ryan. And don't mind, they're a little bit dusty just from shipping here, but two-tone, we can get these on our website. You can either get them in two-tone or full color. Two-tone meaning the outside is the color and then the inside is black. I think that's the way to do it, just to get a little bit of an accent. So before and after. It's such a cool little mod there too. I mean, it's something anyone can do. You just take them from the front, slide them on just like so, and you hear that click. Look at that already though. I think the reason we wanted to go with that too, as the entire hood is kind of cleaned up right now, because there will be graphics in the center of the hood and on the side. So we want to really accentuate it. And I don't know, maybe I think like we don't drive this thing at all. Leave the windshield wipers off. Well guys, here is one side of the, I would say, front of the bed into the tub complete on here. Now Brendan actually cut it out for the fuel door here. You can see all of this is cut out. And one thing I didn't even notice is that the gradient line, so this gradient line flows all the way back into this rear tail. This goes all the way up front into this one here. And he has notched it out for the doors perfectly. Now I just said, because we want to still be able to take the doors and see the wrap, that's why it is set up like this. But I didn't even notice all the details, like even the gradient border that goes around the pink actually fades from light blue into like a purple hue into this fuchsia. Like it fades right into it. Just the border line is really, really neat. The detail on this is just insane. And like I said, it's not like a whole wrap. Like it's not the whole Jeep's not being wrapped. It's just enough to accent it and give it, I don't know, I think it gives it the perfect amount. Orange versus purple. Kind of like, I don't know, I'm more of a, I think with the wrap and everything, Ryan, I think the purple's the way to go, yeah. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right, guys, well, you can see this side is just about wrapped up, no pun intended on there. We've got color match door handles, our keyhole covers, and then just the wrap flowing through the back. The gradient just looks that much more incredible on this thing. Honestly, a lot of people are coming up saying, oh yeah, Miami Vice, that looks like a Matchbox car I used to have. That's what we were going for. We wanted this to not only be bright and vibrant, but look look the part too. You know, be classy, but flow in and obviously make it pop what this Jeep is. Now, Brendan's got just a couple more pieces to install, and they're going to be some up top here on the hood to accentuate the Mojave hood, and then there's going to be 2 decals on the side of the hood. And we'll do the ones up top, and then we'll show you what's going on the side of the hood, and the reason we're filming here in Michigan will make a lot more sense. But you're going to have to wait until we put that side one on, and then you'll know. So a lot of the time when you see hood graphics kits, these guys will do the center section. On the Mojave and the 392, this is a great section to either black it out or give it accent pieces. Brendan took it a step further and actually did the outside pieces. So this center section is left bare, but this outside piece shows kind of the shift of height on this Power Dome hood. But he also went and took the gradient and did it left to right. So you can see this gradient flows from the blue, the light blue, the lines, and it flows right into that purple, pink, and goes over to the other side. Looks absolutely sick, especially from the front. And don't worry, we are replacing our front bumper, so that's going to look more aggressive. But just so far, this looks insane. Now, he's doing some measuring over here. And you were taking some measurements off of one of those Jeeps because it looks similar to what's going on there. He's going to get it on. We'll peel it off, and we'll show you what's on the side. So there's a little bit of inspiration. Matchbox from 1997?
97, yeah.
Yeah, look at the gradient on there. But look at how bright even the logos on the box were. Everything was brighter in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, it was all fun. That's what these Jeeps and stuff is supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun, right? And in a world of dark colors and all that, purple and these bright colors, that's the way to go. Here it is, guys. This is the reason that we're here. What engine is it? What engine is it? You're going to be the one to reveal it. That's the engine everyone wants. And there's a guy that makes them right there. Oh, he snuck in. AMW 425. And if you look at even the details here, he has AMW 425 into that. But I think the white was a good call on the border too. Yeah. That looks good to like make it pop the gradient. This Jeep will be sitting here for, what, about another week, Ryan? And that's going to be getting done to it. So we've been trailering this thing everywhere. It only has 190 miles on it. And we're already going to be replacing the power plant because this is exactly what Jeep should be doing from the factory, but nobody matches the quality that AMW can do, and they already do it. So this is why it's getting the 425. It's the same engine in the Juice. That engine, we've already put like 7,000 miles on it already, and it's top tier. So if you've been wondering why we're filming here, kind of hard to deny it now with the graphic that Brendan made, which must I say, that looks absolutely killer. Like matching the font. You match the Rubicon Mojave style font, a little bit of your own flair.
To the 392.
On the 425 here, well, I like this almost like tech inside the 2. Like that font just ties it in perfectly. On today's viewer rig of the video, we are checking out Ed's 2024 Rubicon X that he submitted to us. Now, Ed drives an absolutely awesome looking Anvil Rubicon X. He has the steel front and rear bumper with the winch group as well as the Extreme Recon. So it has the 35s and the beadlock capable wheels, but the Anvil looks really nice in this. There's not too many Anvils we see rolling around besides Ryan's 2-door, and I really do like that one. Now, he also said he's had a 2016 JKU in the Oscar Mike Edition as well as a 2022 Sahara JL. Now on this, he said he's always looked forward to a Rubicon and finally picked one up. So Ed, thank you so much for submitting. It looks like you're having a great time with your Jeep. And if you want to have a chance at your rig being featured on our channel, email us rigs@dirtroadcredmedia.com. This thing gives it everything that we wanted it to. A lot of people are walking by saying like it's giving Vice City, it's giving Miami vibes, and that's exactly what we wanted. Hood decals on both sides. We added the color-matched cowl panel, color-matched hood bumpers, and the color-matched fender vents. And then, of course, the AMW 425 in the same gradient, AMW holographed, as well as the white backdrop. Going over, the only thing left that we haven't touched are the Desert Rated and the Jeep badges. Those are both going to come off during the swap process. This will be an AMW badge, and then these get deleted. And we might have something else to go there. But, yeah, those are going to go, too. The coolest thing that I really like is just how the gradient fades into this pink color up front, and I really like it because the border of the graphic also flows up with it. We added a Dirt Road CRED badge to the back corner glass. I think that's probably all we're going to do as far as the glass goes and any branding on the side of this, but working its way up, I really am excited just how well this flows up into our tire carrier, because when you look at this, it almost points directly right at our spare there, and it gives you that nice visual lines that point you right to the bed of this Jeep. So we got our color match fenders, nothing on the fender flares itself. We let the body be the accent piece. So you can see these actually just tuck nicely right up underneath the Rubicon Highline fender flares. And then the Mojave. And Brendan actually said he took a little bit of inspiration from the Dare logo. If you guys remember Dare logos and that Dare Against or whatever resisting whatever it was, but that's a very similar font to that. And then we did 2 little touches to the back tailgate here. Not only were we able to get gradients on the Jeep Gladiators, gradients on left and right side, DRC on this side with a little logo. Anyone that gets that, what do you think that logo is from? You guys let us know in the comments down below. And then AMW 425 in kind of a micro font. That would almost be like the size of an RC crawler right there, but it matches the same as the hood decal. But when you look at this thing, even from like this back corner here, like the back end, the tailgate of the Gladiator gives you so much more real estate to actually accentuate it. But like, just look at that back corner shot. Mojave there, all the colors we were looking for. And then don't worry guys, when we get this thing back home before Jeep Beach, it's all gonna get ceramic coated, polished up, and it's even gonna shine even more than it does now. But I thought it was awesome. When you got the chase lights going up top, you got those Tyree lights shining. This thing is turning into just a beautiful build. And I think this is like, besides the color and the wheels and tires and lift and all the others, this is like the chef's kiss for the outside of the vehicle. So now a really cool thing, if you guys wanna check out any sort of custom work for your rig, or even some of the off-the-shelf items, because he has a full website where you can pick up some really neat items for your Jeep. We will leave the website link down below in the description. You can reach out either for custom work or perhaps search around and maybe order something for your own rig. We're absolutely blown away by how good this thing looks. Now we're gonna be leaving it here in Michigan for a few weeks as it undergoes the heart transplant with just under 200 miles on this Jeep. We're not gonna fully cover that swap because we've already done a full 5.7 liter conversion, which we will also link that down below on our 2025 Juice Gladiator. But you'll be able to check this Jeep out first in person at Daytona Jeep Beach here at the end of April. Now what's also really cool is we're going to be doing a subscriber celebration on April 23rd from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock on the beach in front of the Max Resort. More details to follow, but that is your invite there. If you see us, that it's all permitted, everything is done properly. We just had to wait for some things to come back. We would love to meet you guys there if you're coming down. We'll have some vendors on site with us. We'll be having a lot of our rigs down at the show, and we just can't wait to enjoy that summer weather and show off our Miami Vice Gladiator down closer to Miami in Daytona Beach. I really couldn't ask for better. Ryan and I both agree, and basically everyone walking around the shop is kind of jaws wide open. So Brendan nailed it out of the park. Shout out to Brendan. Absolutely fantastic job. There he is. My name's Matt. Ryan's behind the camera. Brendan's over there, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.